Hello there, this is James and you're watching Tixee Live. Today's program, guess what? We've had another announcement during the US session, which has again changed the mood of the market. But before we get into that, don't forget these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be treated as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. So with that out of the way, let's crack on. So what's occurred? What's occurring? Well, okay, obviously this is the European session. Europe's been open for 1 hour, so there's a lot to talk about, and we'll go through several charts a little bit later. But the overall feeling is that, again, we have a risk-off appetite in the market in general. Okay, risk-off appetite. Once again, yesterday we had we had this conversation on the 4 o'clock or the US Open session when I discussed that there was a little bit of optimism that maybe we've reached the bottom, but clearly I don't think that the overall mood, like I was saying, is, we still have plenty of bears in the market. And why is that? Why have we got that sentiment again today? Well, simple. Snapchat has cut its quarter two earnings forecast below guidance. What does that mean? Well, they had a certain level which they believe was their forecast, but they've cut it quite significantly as well. And the knock-on effect of that was that Snapchat's share price fell by 28%. 28%. And clearly it's going to show that tech companies which have been under pressure since the beginning of the year, and with all the fear about inflation. Remember last week, it was all about retailers being affected by inflation. That's why we had Walmart, we had Target really hurting the market. We now have tech companies saying they are not immune to inflation either. So yeah, Snapchat has again dampened the mood of optimism on the market once again. And the thing is, this is clearly impacted on the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ is under a great deal of pressure as it stands. And don't forget, like I mentioned yesterday, NASDAQ has lost since the beginning of the year 27%. It's down 27% since January. So I think we should have a little look at NASDAQ and see how we're doing with it. Let's have a quick look at it. Oh, there's my arrow. There it is. Found it. Let's have a quick look. Right, yeah, so here we go. This is NASDAQ as it stands. This is on an hourly chart. As you can see, we had a bit of a little bit of a buy-in again there, but overall, it's still very much under pressure, still under the 100-day moving average and still under the 200-day moving average. So, yeah, NASDAQ is, again, struggling in general, stocks and stocks and the market is generally feeling a bit sorry for itself again today. I mean, currently the European session, like I say, we've only been open for 1 hour and 5 minutes. The FTSE is under pressure, is actually currently trading minus not dramatic, minus 0.51%. The DAX, though, is minus 1.13, so 1.13%. EURUSD 50 is minus 1.37. So again, we have got a little bit of doom and gloom once again, clearly down to the Snapchat announcement. That's the talk of the town again, is Snapchat. And other tech stocks, other social media stocks came under pressure. Twitter, which we've spoken about Twitter quite a few times over the last couple of programs. Again, that's still very much under pressure. Locked down to the whole drama with Mr. Musk, obviously, but in general, it's showing that the appetite for tech stocks is down, but the appetite for riskier assets or risk assets is generally waning once again. However, there is some movement higher, and that is the euro. the euro is on the move. And yeah, remember, don't forget, yesterday we were speaking about Christine Lagarde's statement that by the end of September, or by September, the ECB will actually get out of negative interest rates to help tackle inflation. I think their inflation is about 7.4%, but tackle inflation. So that gave the market generally a bit of optimism for the euro. And if we have a look at the euro, let's look at that now. We can see, remember, we were talking yesterday about a particular level. Remember, 1.0717 was the level we were saying that is an area of interest. That's the level it has to break through. And it's testing that as we speak. And it is up higher. If we turn to 1 hour, we can see, okay, it's just trading just above it. So it hasn't quite broken through properly, but it is trading just above it. But just before I came on air, we did have some breaking news from Europe. This is why probably I was 30 seconds late on. But EU PMI slightly ruins the party, only slightly, was announced at 54.9 versus 55.3 expected. So it came in lower. PMI, okay, measures manufacturing services with big companies, manufacturing and service companies. Any amount above 50, okay, is good. Anything below 50 is considered negative. But the problem with this is 54.9. The expectation was 55.3, and last month it was 55.8. So we are seeing slightly, maybe inflation taking a bite out of that, quite possibly. We're seeing inflation take a bite out of that. But as we can see for the euro, though, in the last hour, we can see actually make a bit of 30 minutes to see it properly. Again, yeah, it's sort of running out of steam a teeny weeny bit, but still it's a very bullish momentum. I don't think the PMI will pay much attention to that as it stands at the moment. We're still, though we're trading above that level on a short term, on the long term, we're still just, we're trying to break it. So it is still a key level, 1.07017. We're still above the 100-day moving average. We're still above that 200-day moving average. So there is bullish momentum at the moment for the euro. Let's have a quick look at something else. The cable. Again, remember the cable, we're talking about that key level here, weren't we? 125490. It's trading just above that. Okay, so that is now acting as a support or potential support. So I'm keeping a very close eye on that. Trading above the 50, 200, and the 100-day moving average. Gold, we talked about that yesterday as well. Let's have a quick update on gold. Yeah, remember I was talking about that key level to watch, 1,865.57, key area of interest. As you can see, the gold has tried to test that level, but is currently capped between that. So really at the moment, it's trading between $1,865 as an ounce and $1,834 an ounce. So it's sort of range trading in between now. And I think there's a couple of events happening today, which is why gold is sort of treading water, so to speak. So yeah, that's where it stands. So really, the euro is something worth watching. There's something else I want a quick look at actually as well. Let's bring up the euro. Euro sterling. Here we go. See, euro sterling's on the move as well, obviously because of what the statements made by Lagarde. Currently trading at 0.85236. There was a key level around 0.8518, which is testing now, trying to trade above it and keep above it, shall I say. So yeah, that's an interesting pair. Again, above the 200-day, again above the 100 moving average as well. So that's on the move as well. Okay, so quite a few things today. Snapchat, again, dampened the mood a bit. I know now we're just looking out for these earnings all the time. Costco on Thursday at the close of business, that's going to be an interesting one, like I already pointed out. So yeah, news as it stands is slightly risk off, mainly down to the Snapchat announcement. But I say the euro is feeling bullish today, and that'd be worth watching certainly as the European session continues. Other things to bear in mind for this week, of course, US durable goods. Fed's Jerome Powell, I call him the inflation terminator. He's speaking today, actually, which I wasn't aware of. He's speaking today. And you remember last week when he spoke at the Wall Street event, so to speak, totally changed the mood of the market. Market was very sort of happy and optimistic at that point, bullish. He had his little speech and he ruined the party, and everything again was pessimistic. So it'd be interesting to see what he says tonight. That'd be quite late. So during the later hours of the US session. So that'd be quite interesting as well. Other things to bear in mind, Lagarde's speech on Wednesday, like I said, it's all about a lot of speeches at the moment. So she's speaking again. It'd be interesting to see if she will shed more light on the base rate increases, how she's going to do that, get the ECB out of the negative interest rate. So it'll be interesting to see what she says more on that. And of course, Thursday we have FOMC and US GDP. And don't forget, I will be doing a watch-alongs on that. Okay, so all going on once again. Don't forget, as I'm online, live, you can always ask me questions. I am here to answer any questions you have and interact, and we can have a chat live on air. I will be going live again at 4 p.m. My time, which is 1 p.m. UTC. So we'll be going live again, covering what has happened during the European session, what is happening, could happen in the US session, and basically how the market is feeling. It'll be a slightly longer program this afternoon. So I'll be going live again at 1 p.m. UTC. No questions. Okay, fair enough. So anyway, till then, if you're watching me on Facebook and you quite like it, give us a follow. If you're watching us on YouTube and you like it, subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when I'm going live next. If you found this video insightful and useful, give me one of those. So give me a good morning, so to speak. But anyway, till then, till next time, remember these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should be taken as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.